when the lights go out and the fear seems to lean in a little closer, and you lie there listening to a silence that feels too heavy. Stay with me for a moment. I know the night has not been kind to you lately. I know you lie down with your body tired, and yet your mind will not lie down with it. You listen for sounds that may not be there, and you brace for things that have not come. You are not lazy, and you are not weak. You are simply worn out from keeping watch. So loosen your grip on the night for these few minutes, and let me sit here beside you a little while. You do not have to keep watch tonight. You do not have to be the one holding the dark at bay. Before we go any further, let me be honest with you, because honesty is the only thing worth offering at this hour. What you are about to hear is an encouragement drawn from the Bible, a reflection offered gently in faith. It is not a private revelation, and it is not a prediction about your life. It is not a promise that your circumstances will change by morning. It is simply the old and steady comfort of Scripture, read slowly over you tonight. Take it the way you would take a warm blanket pulled up over your shoulders, not as magic, but as kindness. And there is one short line from the Bible I want to lay underneath this whole night. It comes from the second letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 3. Listen to the words slowly and let them settle. But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. Read that again in your heart, slowly. The Lord is faithful. He will establish you, and He will keep you from evil. Notice it does not say you must be faithful enough, or strong enough, or watchful enough. It says He is faithful. The keeping is His work, not yours. And tonight, that quiet promise is being read over the room you are lying in. So let these words come to you the way the Bible means them, as if the one who made you were sitting near your bed, speaking softly into the dark. My child, I know you are afraid of the night. I know the daytime gives you things to do, and the night takes them all away and leaves you alone with your thoughts. I know that when the house goes quiet, the fears you outran all day finally catch up to you. I have seen you lie there stiff and still, eyes open, heart racing at nothing you can name. And I did not look away from you, not once. You were not alone in that bed, even on the nights it felt the loneliest. You have learned, somewhere along the way, to treat the dark like a threat. Maybe something happened once in the night that taught your body to stay alert. Maybe no single thing happened at all, and the dread simply crept in over the years and made itself at home. Either way, your body learned to keep watch, as if your staying awake were the only thing holding back the danger. But hear me gently. You were never strong enough to guard the whole night, and you were never meant to be. That was never your job. The one who is faithful does not sleep, and He does not need you to take His shift. There is a voice that gets louder when the lights go off. In the daylight it whispers, but in the dark it speaks plainly. It tells you that something is wrong, that something is coming, that you are not safe and you never will be. It reads your worst fears back to you, slowly, one at a time, in the language of the dark. And because it speaks in your own quiet, you have come to believe it is just the truth. My child, hear me clearly. That voice is not the truth about your night. Fear is a loud liar, and it does its best work when the room is silent. So when the dread leans in tonight and starts its familiar speech, you do not have to argue it down. You only have to remember what is truer than the fear. The Lord is faithful. He will keep you. So if you are lying there tonight with your shoulders tight and your jaw clenched, this is for you. If you have been afraid of the dark in a way you would be embarrassed to admit to anyone, this is for you. If you check the locks more than once and still cannot feel safe enough to close your eyes, this is for you. If you have lain awake so many nights that you have started to dread the bed itself, this especially is for you. You do not have to pretend to be brave here. You do not have to explain why the night frightens you. You can come into this quiet exactly as you are, tense and tired and afraid, and still be welcome. In the scriptures, there is a picture of rest that I want you to hold tonight. In the book of Psalms, the writer lies down in a dangerous world and still finds sleep. He does not sleep because the danger is gone. He sleeps because he has come to trust the one who stays awake over him. That is the rest I want for you. Not a rest that pretends nothing is hard, but a rest that leans its whole weight on someone faithful. You can lie down because another is keeping watch. You can close your eyes because the eyes that matter most never close. Think for a moment about how many nights you have already survived. The nights you were sure you would not get through, the ones where the dread sat on your chest until morning, and yet here you are, still breathing, having lived through every single one of them. Do you ever wonder how you kept making it to morning? How the dawn always came, even on the nights you were certain it never would? How sleep finally found you somehow, when you had given up on it entirely? The scriptures would call that more than luck. That was a faithfulness keeping you, even when you could not feel it keeping you. You did not survive those nights because your watching worked. You survived them because you were kept. And here is something the long nights have hidden from you. You have begun to believe that your fear is what keeps you safe. You think that if you let your guard down, if you finally relax, something bad will slip through. So you stay tense as a kind of payment, as if your worry were the price of protection. But your fear has never once protected you. It has only stolen your rest and given nothing back. The thing that has actually kept you is not your watchfulness. It is the faithfulness of the one who establishes you and keeps you from evil. And that faithfulness does not turn off when you fall asleep. But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. Hear the word establish in that line. To establish is to set something on a foundation that will not be moved. You have felt so unsteady lately, like the ground under your nights could give way at any moment. But you are being set on something steadier than your feelings. When your heart is shaking, you are still being established. When the night feels uncertain, the one holding you is not uncertain at all. His steadiness does not rise and fall with your fear. And hear the word keep in that same line. To keep is to guard, to watch over, to hold something safe through the night. This keeping is gentle, and it is faithful, and it does not depend on whether you can feel it. It is not the kind of protection that demands you stay frightened to earn it. It is the kind that lets you rest precisely because someone else is doing the guarding. Let me say it plainly so the fear cannot twist it. You are not being kept safe because you are afraid enough. You are being kept because the one who keeps you is faithful, and his faithfulness is not yours to maintain. Now I know you may not feel any of this yet. Peace comes slowly to a body that has been bracing for danger for a long time. You cannot simply command your shoulders to drop or order your heart to slow, and that is all right. The truth does not wait on your feelings to be true. The ground holds you whether or not you feel it holding you. The one who keeps you, whether or not your body has learned to trust it yet. So do not add to tonight the extra fear of not feeling peaceful enough. You are allowed to be afraid and still be kept. Let me speak gently to the things you carry into the dark with you. You lie down and your mind hands you the whole list. Every worry, every unfinished thing, every what if. You replay the day and rehearse the tomorrow. And somewhere in there, the simple act of resting slips away. But you were not made to solve the whole world before you are allowed to sleep. You do not have to fix tomorrow tonight. Tomorrow has not arrived, and it will come whether you lie awake bracing for it or not. So lay the list down for now, the way you would set a heavy bag by the door. It will still be there in the morning, and you will be stronger to face it, having rested. And let me speak to the loneliness of the late hour. There is a particular ache to being awake when the rest of the world is asleep. You feel forgotten in those hours, as if no one in the world knows you were lying there with your eyes open. But the one who keeps you is awake in those very hours. The scriptures speak of a God who does not slumber, who watches through the deepest part of the night. So even when you feel most alone, in the quietest, darkest hour, you are being watched over with love. The night is never as empty as it feels. You are kept even at 3 a.m, even when no one else knows you are awake. I want to gently correct a picture you may be carrying. Somewhere you may have come to imagine the dark as crowded with things meant to harm you. But hear me. The promise tonight is not a story about how frightening the night is. It is a story about how faithful your keeper is. You do not need to study the shadows or imagine what hides in them or work yourself into fear over what you cannot see. You only need to remember the one who is faithful, who keeps you from evil. Do not let anyone, including your own fear, turn this quiet promise into a reason to be more afraid. It was always meant to make you less afraid. The keeping is sure and the keeper is kind. Think about how a small child sleeps in a safe home. The child does not lie awake checking the locks or listening for danger or guarding the house. The child sleeps deeply, completely, because the child trusts that someone older and stronger is awake and near. The child is not safe because the child is watchful. The child is safe because someone faithful is keeping the home. That is the kind of rest being offered to you tonight. Not the rest of someone who has nothing to fear, but the rest of someone who is held by someone faithful. You are allowed to sleep like that, like one who is kept. So tonight, I am asking you to set down a few things you were never meant to carry into the dark. Set down the watchfulness that has been wearing you thin. Set down the belief that your fear is the only thing keeping you safe. Set down the dread that has been writing tomorrow's story before tomorrow has even come. You were not made to guard the night, and you do not have to guard it alone. There is someone faithful keeping watch, and he is far better at it than your fear ever was. And about the nights you have already lost to fear, the hours you lay awake bracing for nothing. Hear this gently, my child. Those nights were not your failure. You did the best you could with a body that had learned to be afraid. The scriptures speak of mercies that are new every morning, which means a fresh start is already waiting for you when the sun comes up. You do not have to carry the exhaustion of every past night into this one. Tonight is allowed to be different. Not because you have finally tried hard enough, but because the one who keeps you is faithful again, the same as always. So lay down the old nights too. If these words have stirred something in you, you do not need to do anything dramatic. You do not owe anyone proof of your faith, and you do not have to perform anything to make this real. But if you would like, you might turn this quiet moment into a small prayer before you sleep. It can be as simple as this: Lord, I am tired, and I am afraid. Please keep me tonight. There are no perfect words for the dark. The scriptures show God meeting people in whispers and in groans and in prayers too tired to finish. Your honesty is more than enough. And if someone you love comes to mind, someone who also dreads the night, you are welcome to share this with them, not as a chain, not as a demand, but simply as a kindness. Now, here is one gentle but important reminder, and I will not rush past it. Faith is a deep comfort, but it is not a replacement for care. If your sleeplessness has become heavy, or your fear at night is more than you can carry, or your mind feels overwhelmed, please also reach out to a doctor, a counselor, or someone you trust. Comfort and care were always meant to walk together. Asking for help is not a failure of faith. It is wisdom, and it is brave. And before this message comes to its close, let me ask one simple thing of you. Loosen your grip on the night just a little. I am not promising you that you will fall asleep the moment this ends, and I am not handing you a guarantee about how the night will go. I am telling you what faith has always whispered to the weary and the wakeful, that you are kept, and you were never the one truly holding the dark at bay. You do not have to win against the fear tonight. You only have to lean your weight on the one who is faithful, and let him keep what you were never able to keep on your own. So as this message comes toward its end, let me leave one thing in your hands to carry into the dark. You are not the guard of this night. You are the one being kept through it. So when the silence presses in, remember, the Lord is faithful. When the dread leans close, remember, He will keep you from evil. When the morning still feels far away, remember, the one who watches over you does not sleep, and He has not let go of you. But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. Let that be the last thought you hold before you let your eyes close. You are established. You are kept. You are watched over by someone faithful. So unclench your hands now and let your shoulders come down and let your breath grow slow. You do not have to keep watch tonight. If gentle words like these bring you peace, you are always welcome to stay close to this quiet corner where we simply sit with the scriptures together. And wherever the night takes you, and however long it lasts, may you rest in the keeping of the one who is faithful. Peace be with you, my friend. Rest now. You are kept.